Excuse me. In this video, let's talk about what consulting is and what I actually do as a consultant. We'll divide this conversation into 4 parts. First is I'll share with you what consulting is in the context of what I do as an entrepreneurial consultant. Then we'll do a quick rundown of the 2 categories of consultants. Then we'll dive deeper on the 5 steps of the consulting process, and we'll end this by sharing with you an actual consulting project that I did for a client. If this sounds interesting and valuable to you, then get yourself comfortable. If not, I'll understand if you skip this, but for those of you who are staying, let's get started. Consulting is basically taking your skills and expertise to help a client solve a problem in their business to achieve an objective. What I do as a consultant, typically a client comes to us asking for help, whether that's to develop their brand strategy, positioning, or create their logo, or increase their brand awareness and credibility through public relations. Each of our projects runs from at least 3 to 6 months, where we're hired on a retainer basis, which means that we remain as their consultants until the project is completed. Now, there are 2 general categories for consultants, and you can be either of these 2. First category is a solo consultant. This is where you serve clients by yourself, and if you need help in delivering output for the project, then you can just opt to hire freelancers behind the scenes. This may be a good route for you if you just want to run a simple consulting operations, or if you're just more effective working alone. The second category is a consulting firm or agency. This is where you manage a team or a set of people who are needed in delivering a project for a client. Here, you're more of an entrepreneurial consultant where you don't just run a solo gig, but you run an entire company. If you're wondering how many consultants or team members are needed in one project, if you're running an agency, usually you'll have an account executive or AE who does the day-to-day client servicing, a support specialist who helps deliver the output, and a principal who is more senior and who oversees the whole project. Up next is knowing the consulting process, and let me go over the 5 main steps. Step 1 is discovery call. This is where you sit down with a prospect client with a goal of understanding the requirements better and aligning on how you can move forward with the project. Step 2 is proposal. If things went well for you in the discovery call with you agreeing on the project requirements, the next step for you is to develop and send a cost proposal that lays down the scope of work and the corresponding package price. Step 3 is the contract. This is essentially formalizing all the things that you've agreed on, from your scope of work, your timeline, your price points, your payment terms, and other provisions. Having a contract is a must because this safeguards your engagement, and this also protects you and your client. Step number 4 is delivery, where you now do the actual work that you committed to the client. For example, in our case, if it's a branding project, we'll begin doing branding workshops, write the brand strategy, and then submit all the other branding components that we agreed on. Step 5 is completion. This is ensuring that everything in the contract and in the scope of work is delivered and formally accepted by the client. For this last part, I thought it would help you better understand consulting if I share with you an actual client project that we did. This is a public relations campaign where our company, The Vineyard, was hired by an international brand to become their communications consultant and help them amplify their local initiatives. For easier understanding, let me break down the project for you. The main problem with the client was to generate awareness for their company activities in the Philippines. What we offered as a solution was to develop a PR strategy, coming up with strategic story angles, send them out to media for publication, and we even did an online media launch event. As a result, the stories that we wrote got picked up by several media outlets. It generated millions of impressions, which meant more people read about them, increasing awareness and credibility for their brand. That's basically what consulting is, and if you have any questions about this, feel free to type them down in the comment section below, reach out to me in my social media accounts, or you can just watch the next video after this. Once again, thanks for watching, see you next time, and always dare to dream big.